How are we doing, lads? Been a long time since we actually done like a trade review, so I'll send you one over right now. So coming into today, I didn't really have a strong bias on the day as I did yesterday. So yesterday I did have a bias of a downwards movement. I did actually have a small trade in this to the downside, but yesterday I was actually looking for price action to come in, and I'll mark it out right now. This order block there. And why is this order block so important? That is the order block from last Wednesday, and which was the ADP. And if you can remember the ADP figures that came in, they actually came in very poor compared to anticipated. They came in about 340k as compared to around 650, I want to say, expected, which actually left us a nice inefficiency in the market. You can see a big move to the upside due to the weakness of the dollar, and the price actually kind of traveled. Price action actually traveled to the upside, and coming into yesterday, I was looking for it to actually come into that order block again to actually fill that inefficiency gap. By which I mean, like, when there's an inefficiency gap, there's a lot of orders coming to the market from one side. It's a very one-sided market, which is exactly what's happened here. A lot of buy orders came in to buy euro against dollar as the dollar kind of collapsed on the day. Well, it didn't really collapse; it just had candles to the downside, and that's why we did actually trade away from it. We traded into a key zone here, which actually left an LT on the daily. I'm not going to go into that too much now. Left an LT to the daily, and sooner or later, like I didn't know when, sooner or later, price action would be coming down to here. So coming into today, I did actually think this is the day we're going to see like price action coming to here. And why is that? We came in so close yesterday, and we actually broke the lows from the day before right here. And the thing that actually gave me one of the biggest confidences is, I'll mark it out right now, as you know, when we look for LTs, we look for price action to come in here. So we want price action to come in here and then close above, which is actually going to signal a potential turn in the market, as everyone's going to be going short, right? But what's happened here is the market just made a new low. As you can see, it's clearly closed below the low of the day from the second. So to me, that was the first indication that we're actually going to see a continuation of the move to the downside. But before we see the continuation like this, we are likely to actually see a pullback. And if we see a pullback above the high, above the most recent high, I did actually, this is on the low time frames, I'm just showing you the hourly as it's more clear. On the 15-minute, I was looking for a break of market structure, which is failed. As you can see, as you know, when we look for a break of market structure to the upside, want to close above market structure, a strong candle close. But in this case, I was looking for the move to the downside. So I was looking for market structure to be broken and then close below, like almost like an SFP, but almost like an LT, but to the downside. So let me go on the lower time frames. So the 15-minute, as you can see, like price kind of went beneath and then didn't carry on at all, just kind of hovered around here. And then we did actually see the market come in. I want to show you one more thing. Oh, that's one too far. Right here, yeah. So I had a break of market structure at 5, which is actually here. Let me zoom in a minute. So the break of market structure was actually here. Now, can you see this candle failed to break it? I know the next one did, but this candle failed to break it. So my confidence was still that we are going to see this move to the downside. The candle after actually went above, which is the 10-minute candle, and then this is the final 15-minute candle. So you can see here, and we failed to close past this market structure here. So this was kind of my last confluence to actually go short in this position. But I'm not going to solely go short based on technicals. Coming into today, I was very strong on, like, the reason this is called order flow trading is I believe that the market's going to go one way, and well, not one way only, but the market is really going to push to one side. And because I believe that, I was really looking at the equities market in specifically just to see where it's going to go. So just to pay, like I always talk about, let me get my new watch list. So now when I watch my charts, I've got two watch lists. I've got this watch list, which is specifically for order flow, and I've got my normal watch list what I watch on a day to day. So when I look at this watch list for just for the market flows, see clear like how strong the dollar is, how strong the pound is, how strong the euro is, and how the equities market is doing itself. So when I come into the morning, I look at the Nikkei as that's overnight. Then we've got the FTSE 100, we've got the DAX, we've got the S&P. Then these two here are S&P futures markets. So S&P futures is basically a continuous market that's on all day, and it's telling you like how the likelihood of the S&P opening, like the S&P literally just opened 2 minutes ago, and it's opened at minus 8.5 points. So the futures market kind of tells you where the S&P is traded out of hours. So from that you can kind of gauge where the markets are likely to go. So this morning, when I was ready to like pull this, well, when I was ready to enter this position, I was really paying close attention to futures markets, as these markets were around minus 0.1, minus 0.2%, which suggested that we are going to see dollar strength going into the New York session. And if you just think about, if I come in at 6:30 in the morning and by 7 a.m. the futures market is down already, I know it can turn, but most of the time if it's down 0.1, 0.2% already, this just suggests that going throughout the day the market is just going to drop further, which is just extra confidence that we'll see some strength in the dollar. And if we do look at the dollar, sorry, on hourly actually, yeah. So this candle here, let me just go back. This candle here is the candle that I pulled a trade on. As you can see, we've got a lovely level in here. So daily high from the second, and then daily high from yesterday as well. Beautiful level. Price action clearly broke through. It was just waiting for that retest. And this candle here, like, is the same candle which I'll pull the trigger on EU. Market breaks out and then immediately retests it, goes into level harshly. Like, it was the last 10 minutes of this candle is where the dollar index actually pushed upwards. So if you know how inverse the relationship is between EU and the dollar index, as the dollar index goes down, EU is going to go up. But then as the dollar index goes up, EU is obviously going to go down as its dollar strength. So this is exactly what happened. And following that, we did see that move to the upside, where I actually took my profits, which I'll show you in a minute where. But the final thing, and without this I wouldn't have not traded it at all, is actually where the DAX opened. So the DAX is the biggest equities market in Europe apart from the FTSE, and it's strongly related to the euro. So when we see the DAX actually move lower, we're like to see the euro be very weak as well. It's a reflection of the European economy or the eurozone. Same thing with the FTSE. So as you can see here, massive down candle, the DAX to open day it was down about 1.2% within the first half an hour, if I'm right. 1.3% within the first half an hour. So to me, this just signaled there's going to be some serious euro weakness coming to the market. And the reason it's called order flow trading is because you've got all these different signals telling you when the money flow is going to be. So if the DAX is down 1% on that, if the S&P is down, the euro is going to be down against the dollar. And if I'm looking for dollar strength, what is this going to suggest? It's going to suggest that the EU is going to move to the downside. And what happened, like exactly that. So let me just go back. So here. So exactly that. So when this candle printed at 8:30, as I told you, the DAX was already down. I was comfortable entering this trade as the candle closed. Candle closed, rejecting market structure here. Tiny stop just above there. So it was from 5-tick stop. Where was my target? My target was at the start of the order block there, right? So my target is just there, which is actually coming back to the order block I was talking about at the start of this video. And it literally just flew downwards from there. Like, as you can see, three, 4 candles, the market just flew into there. But the reason I was comfortable with this position is simply because we've seen that failure of market structure breaks to the upside. What we know, if this candle here did close, let's say, did close there, and we see the clear close above these highs there, I'd be looking for market to come back down and then actually go up. But we didn't, so it just added further confidence for me to actually short this position with the order flow, with the weak equities market as well. So Well, yeah, that's that. I hope it makes sense. If anyone's got any questions, just let me know.